Namaskaram to all Atmas. Today I am going to present Sri Atma Yogi's Atma Siddhi Yoga for children of the age 6 to 12. Last time we have seen on the Republic Day, we have seen Atma Siddhi Yoga for kids in the age of 1 to 5, because I told Atma Siddhi Yoga has got 7 stages according to the stages of life. 7 stages, our life is divided into 7 stages. 1 to 5, this is the first stage, kindergarten stage. 6 to 12, this is the age from first standard to 7th standard. This is the elementary level. And then teenage, 13 to 19. This is the adolescent stage. And then youth stage, 20 to 27. So 27, after that once you enter to adulthood, the marriage, so 27 to 45, marriage, children, all this. 45 to 60, during this period, while doing work, we get disease, how to overcome it, then 60 above. So these are the 7 stages, 1 to 6, 1 to 5, first stage, second stage, 6 to 12, third stage, 13 to 19, fourth stage, 20 to 27, fifth stage, 26, 27 to 45, that is adulthood. And sixth stage is 45 to 60 and seventh stage 60 above. So now we are going to see the second level. So actually at kindergarten level, children will be only slowly growing, because we send children to the school at the age of 3 to in the play schools. So 3, 4, 5 play schools they will go. But actually the school life starts after 5 years is completed. The 6th year they enter into first standard. From 6 to 12 they start real school learning. So during this period they come into contact with the various classmates, teachers, and their relationship grows. So, and their intellectual power slowly grows during this 6 to 12 age. And during this period also, the children has to be taken care properly by the parents. So, how to nurture the children into a valuable asset is mainly depend on the care, love and affection which the parents take on their children. So, in this Atma Siddhi Yoga for these children, we have around 12 steps. This will be slightly varying from 1 to 6, 1 to 5 children, because here the children will be learning certain important areas where how to develop their IQ power, how to bring out their inherent talents, how to shape themselves to develop, to score 100% in exams. All these things they will be learning here. So, in this stage, the children not only should learn about how to prepare themselves for the academic education, they should also learn how to develop their personality traits. One of the important personality traits they should develop is the self-determination, patience, perseverance, dedication, involvement, concentration. All these divine qualities the children should learn. And for these things, we got in this Atma Siddhi Yoga at various steps, where the children will be given this training to shape themselves. So, let us see one by one. The first is when they get up, what the parents have to take, because during this stage, up to 12 years, it's a duty of the parents to take the child along with them. Once they become teenage, they can independently go. This stage is a very important stage. So the parents, either father or mother, they should accompany the children in the morning. So once they have to get up early in the morning, so they have to go for a morning walk. So it is, parents should make it a point to go for a morning walk, jogging like that. It's a good exercise which each adults or elders or everybody people do. So they go in a park or in wherever they want. So they have to go. So during this morning walk, the children should be put, while going on morning walk, they should hear the Vedic chanting, because this Vedic chantings, the bhajans, the like Adasasti Kavacham or Vishnu Sahasranamam, or if you belong to any other religion, their slokas, their recitals. Say for instance, a Christian means like Jesus songs. Allah means you can put the Quran's versions. So the children should be imbibed with the divine sound vibrations, so that these divine vibrations get embedded in the subconscious mind. Because when we come to this world, when they take birth, we bring with us the subconscious mind, where the past experiences are got stored. And if these experiences are negative, the negative aberrations, what it creates, the negative traits in us. So if you want to overcome these negative traits, we have to imbibe the positive divine traits in that. So every day in the morning, first when you get up, we should see that we make the children to imbibe positive divine energy vibrations in the subconscious mind. So by hearing these Vedic chantings or whatever divine chantings of any religion, according to their religion, they should hear these divine chantings while going on walking. So when they're going on walking, their focus should be to walk. Say for instance, half an hour they are going for walking or jogging. During this half an hour, their mind should not divert on any other thing, and they should focus on the divine chantings and hear it. If possible, they should hear and get recorded in the subconscious mind. It becomes, they get by hearted by themselves. Say for instance, they are hearing Vishnu Sahasranama. The 26 minutes, if it is coming, means you go walking for 26 minutes. So daily when you start hearing it, it gets recorded in your subconscious mind. Without your knowledge, you begin to chant. So if possible, try to chant this month, slokas. So make your children to chant this and get it embedded in themselves and get it by hearted by themselves. So Vishnu Sahasranama, this is a very powerful mantras for purification of mind. It gives a divine protection to us. So like that, Lalita Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Kadasasti Kavacham, whatever, the other religions, according to their religious devotional songs, they can hear. That is the first step. So to imbibe in the subconscious mind the very powerful divine vibrations, which should be recorded, so that past negative things, it gets, aberrations get slowly, it get erased. That's very important thing. So after completing this morning exercise, morning walking, they should be brought. So now the parents, what they should do, and after coming back, let them wash the face. Now sit, do the body exercise. So body exercise consists of first body massaging. So like that, they should press the body. This they can do in the park itself, or they can come at home and do also. So the body massaging they can do from head to toes, by pressing it from head to toes. They can do body massage. From head to toes, they have to press their body so that the skin becomes flexible. Then what they have to do? They have to do simple joint exercise. So our fingers have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then hip 8, knee 9, then leg joints 10, 11, then the finger, leg fingers 11. So there are totally 11 joints in our body. So what you have to do is, first you have to just split like this. First, second, third, then fourth, then fifth, then hip, go back and bend, side, all these things we can do the practice. Then legs, you just forcefully push the legs. So like that 4 times you can do. Then rotate the legs. So for the 10th joint, and finally leg joint, leg finger joint, you just close it. So like that, first body massage and joint exercise we have to do. So by that way we keep our body flexible. So because when we sleep, at that time all energy gets accumulated in these joints. So when you do this exercise, the energy gets spread over the body, and it gives body and muscles, everything will become perfectly synchronized, and you can able to get alert. Then you have to do the dot concentration. After completing this body massaging, you sit in a chair or other Padmasana on the floor and keep a dot at 45-degree angle. So by 45-degree angle you have to keep your Chin Mudra. This is Chin Mudra. So I told last time, the Chin Mudra refers to the 5 fingers have got a spiritual value. The small finger is the physical body, this is the energy astral body, this is our mind and buddhi, and this is the soul Atma, and this is the Paramatma. So our objective is the Jivatma should merge in Paramatma. That is the spiritual objective. When it happens, when the physical body, astral body, mind and the intellect, they get synchronized. So this is the meaning of this Chin Mudra. Please tell your dear parents, please tell your children about the significance of these 5 fingers why God has given to us, both sides. So keep this in Chin Mudra like this and sit, and now what you have to do is you have to just focus on this dot without moving your eyelids. So make your child to sit like a statue and watch the dot without moving the eyelids. Even water comes from the dot, from the eyes, ask them not to move. Simply sit, focus, focus, focus on the dot. The more they focus, what happens? The energy, entire body's energy gets synchronized. Like a say gas cylinder, when you arrange a gas for welding purpose, the gas flame should be blue. If it is blue means it cuts everything. Similarly, when you concentrate more on this dot, our intellectual IQ power, our energy gets synchronized like a sharp. This increases the sharpness of our brain and the intellectual power. So this, and it develops our determination power. The more you focus without moving the eyelids, without even water comes out, that means your determination power, self-determination power improves. When your self-determination power improves, what happens? Whatever work you do, you commit mistake, you will not live. You again fight and see that you complete it. Until you succeed, you will not live. And this is the important divine trait you should make your children to learn right from this stage. So focus on this dot without moving your eyelids. Focus as much as time. Minimum 10 minutes, ask them to watch it. And when you touch them, they should not move. So you go in front of them, you disturb them in all ways, all other ways. But tell them not to get disturbed. Whoever comes and talks, whoever comes, nothing you should not do. Think of anything. Focus on the dot. So what happens? This improves their concentration power, self-determination power. Their mind will not get diverted to any other external things when they are doing a particular. So this dot refers to whatever work one should do at a particular time. Then only they should focus on that work. That dot refers to the work we have to do. When they attend class, the dot refers to the teacher's voice. So they have to only hear the teacher, what teacher is telling, what is the point he is telling, driving, that they have to focus and learn. When they study at home, the dot refers to the book what they are reading. So whatever work they do, the dot refers to the object work they are focusing. So it's a very powerful dot concentration method. Every day in the morning you should make it a point to tell your children to do minimum 10 minutes. So after dot concentration comes the how to bring out our inherent talents and improve our IQ level. It's the most powerful simple exercise. So what you have to make them to children to do is ask them to simply sit. Now after watching the dot, make the children to close their eyes and visualize. So when they are sitting down, from the buttocks here that is the base. So when you if you just explain them about the rasam. So in the rasam, if you keep in a bottle, if a glass, if you leave without using it for idly if you keep, what happens? All the precipitate will come settle down at the bottom, and only water will be there at the top. Rasam, everybody knows. So this you can explain to the child. So like that, when we don't use our intellectual energy, our IQ level properly, and get diverted, what happens? Our IQ level energy slowly settles down at the bottom of the base. So what is needed is IQ level is needed at the head, where the brain is there, where our buddhi is there. So here, when this IQ level, energy needed level is there, you can able to understand everything perfectly. You can write everything perfectly. You can do everything perfectly. When you leave it, now what happens? You get settled at bottom. So what you have to make them to is, you have to make them to, so when the rasam precipitate settles down, what do? You put a spoon and rotate it so that it gets equally spread over the entire tumbler. Similarly, what you have to do is, now you have to, this method of practice is, just ask them to close the eyes. Now think that the rasam, so they are going, using the spoon, they are rotating inside their body. So what happens? Now take a deep breath. When they take the deep breath, visualize the dormant intellectual energy which is at the base, that is called Muladhara Chakra. So you can explain them. This is Sahasrara Chakra, this is Agya Chakra, this is Visuddhi Chakra. Throat is Visuddhi Chakra, heart is Anahata Chakra, belly is, stomach is Manipura Chakra, and kidney is Swadhisthana Chakra, and the base, the bottom, the where you sit, it is Muladhara Chakra. So completely comes and settles down in Muladhara Chakra. What you have to do is, ask them to close the eyes and take a deep breath. When they take deep breath, ask them to visualize they are bringing their inherent talents, they are bringing their IQ power, the sleeping power of their intellectual energy, they are bringing to the head. And now ask them to do, take a deep breath, leave it, take a deep breath, leave it, take a deep breath, leave it, like that 9 times. So each time they visualize that the intellectual energy they are bringing out, the inherent talent they are bringing out. After doing this, they should visualize that they have brought the entire energy equally distributed throughout their body, and they are now confident, their intellectual power has developed, my IQ power, my confidence power, everything is now growing. I can understand clearly, crystal clearly. Now my mind is very clear. So like that, the parent should make the child to realize the power of their inherent talents which they bring through this simple breathing technique. So take a deep breath. So while taking deep breath, visualize you are bringing your IQ energy to the head. Again leave it, again bring it. So just like in a well, you put the bucket through using the rope and pull the water out. Similarly, with the breath, take a deep breath, bring the Muladhara Chakra, the energy to the head, Sahasrara Chakra, then leave it, then bring, then leave it, then bring. Like that, you bring all your energy. So when you are bringing it, it equally spreads and come to this head. So where your head, your brain power develops stronger, your buddhi, your intellect power develops stronger. It's a very simple technique which you can make the child to practice. And then comes the Om chanting. So now allow the children to stop. You make them to take this deep breath exercise for 9 to 18 times, whatever time possible. Then ask them to sit calmly and put the chanting. Ask them to chant. So 9 times after chanting, ask them to leave calmly, without doing anything, ask them to sit calmly for 5 minutes. Nothing they should not think anything, they should not do anything. Chant Om 9 times and then ask them to sit calmly for 5 minutes. This is simple to keep their mind calm, cool, collective. After this, you have to give this. Up to this exercise, you can keep in the morning. Then you can do this next exercise in the evening session also, or morning itself. You can do according to the availability of child for the, time for the children, because they have to go to school. Next is how to make their mind alert and improve their patience. The power of patience is very important. Divine trait one should develop. So they should develop patience, perseverance, dedication, involvement, and very important thing is concentration, and keep mind alert. All these divine qualities they have to develop. For this, a very simple technique we have to make them to child to learn. So what they have to do is you make a small cardboard cutting where you put A, B, C, D alphabets. So like this, Z. So you keep in a random. You just put in a bottle all the cardboard A to Z. So now give it to the child, and now stopwatch. You start the stopwatch. Ask them to put in a box like this. You just make one cardboard sheet like this, and ask them to put this each and every small cardboard A, B, C, D, each and everything, because it is now in the random, you don't know where it is. So each one they have to take and put accordingly. So what happens when they take it, they have to go A, B, C, D like that. In the orderly way, they have to arrange it. How fast they are arranging. So this develops their mind alertness power. The technique of mind alertness, they develop concentration. The mind will not get diverted. They concentrate on that. And this develop patience, because each and everything they should keep. When you take you have to keep where it is. So each and everything they can. You can put these words initially on the board. Whatever they take, they can keep there. Easily they can keep there. So like that they can do this as fast. So as parents, mother or father, they should have the stopwatch and see how much time they are doing. So the first time they are doing in 5 minutes, give them the next again exercise. They should do it for 4 minutes, 3 minutes. The faster they do, the more their IQ power develops, their mind alertness power develops, their concentration power develops, their determination power develops, their patience develops. All these things they can develop inside them. It's a very simple technique. One you can do the alphabets A to Z, 126. And second, a similar table you can make for 100 starting. So similarly we can make 100 small cardboard sheets, write 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. You give them ask them to start with the stopwatch, 1 to 100 they should arrange it. So like that you give them the practice so that they improve their concentration, determination power, patience, perseverance, dedication, involvement, all these things, they are good divine traits they develop in them. Then the night, very, very important thing. The parents' duty it is to see that before the child goes to bed, they tell at least one moral story. Thus, we had Panchatantra stories, Paramananda Sishya stories, Ramayana Mahabharata stories. In Ramayana Mahabharata, so many moral stories are there. Upanishads, we have so many stories. So like that, each and every story, of course, I am going to present small stories, moral stories, by way of video shortly for the children's, so that you can play this video. And of course, there are so many videos, animation videos are available. You can also show them and explain them, so that the child get in their mind, they get embedded with the moral ethical values of life. It is very important. They should not tell lie. They should tell only truth. They should not harm anybody, and they should love everybody. Like this, these kind of things, they should help others. Like this, they should be taught these moral ethical values. Very, very important thing. They should be made to learn. And next, again, memory recollection technique. So they should know how to bring out their memory power, recollection power. So for that, what the parents should do is, they should show a few, about 10-15 items from their house. So keep them on the table, just ask them to watch for 5 minutes. Then remove it and take them to another room, ask them to first tell them, not write, because say 1, 2, 3, first standard, second standard, third standard, they may not be in a position to write. When they come to fifth standard, they can write. So they can ask, what is that you are seeing? So once they see and they recollect it, oh, I have seen this balloon, I have seen this TV, I have seen this table, I have seen. So ask them to come into your room and watch everything, and then call them and ask, what is that you have seen? So they will recollect. I have seen TV, I have seen CPU, how many CPUs? I have seen 4 CPUs, I have seen 4 chairs. So like this they can recollect. When they recollect, the memory recollection power develops. So parents should see that they give the children this exercise to develop the memory recollection power. And then comes evening. Evening times, the parents should sit with the children to teach them how to play chess. Chess is a very, very powerful game where the child's analytical power develops. They will think, see, if I put bishop, how I can able to cut the others and win the game. So the analytical power develops. So parents should teach the children. It's a most powerful, very simple, powerful game, an indoor game, which the parents can sit with the child to and teach them. This develops their analytical power. So what happens in future when they come across any kind of problem, they can able to analytically think and find a solution for themselves. Because when they grow up, they face lot of problems, come across lot of problems. So whatever problems one come across, they should know how to solve it by themselves, analytical way of thinking. So that's why make the child to play chess. Now comes the very important 3 main exercise finally for the child to score 100 marks in the subjects whatever study from first standards to 7th standard. This is the period. Each and every class, each and every subject they should score 100 marks. So for this they have to be trained. The parents should sit with them and train these 3 simple very important techniques which I am going to tell, which you should make the child to practice. What is the first is called fast reading technique. So whatever class the children today, when they go to school, they be taught, the teachers teach lessons. So they, with the dot concentration, they can able to concentrate with the subjects. So after coming back, they give homework. So the parents should make the child to do that homework. After doing the homework, they should be made to read faster what they have done. The fast reading technique is they should make it as a game. The parents should start stopwatch. Ask the child to take English. Today, whatever lesson you taught, just read that as fast as can. Then note the stopwatch. So by this way, when they read faster, their fluency of the language improves. The tongue twisting thing will develop. So when they commit mistake, the parents should guide them how to read correctly, how to pronounce the words correctly and read these words. So this fast reading technique, when you make the child to read again and again, so that lesson, whatever they are learned on that day, they get permanently recorded in their mind 3-4 times. Suppose you put a small dot, so it may not be visible. Suppose the dot, if you put a big, so like that, if so many dots you put, it will become visible from long. So like that, the more they read number of times, the more the subject gets embedded in their subconscious mind, and they can able to recollect it faster. You have learned the recollection technique also. So like that, parents should make them to read fast reading technique. Very simple technique. Then comes the photographic memory technique. Very, very powerful. A child, whatever he reads, he can able to answer correctly each and every word. For that, what is the simple thing is photographic memory. So question and answers with the school, the classwork note, they give question and answers. Means this question and answers for each everything they should note. So for instance, each question is, who is Rama? So Rama is the question, the keyword. The answer is, Rama is son of Bharata, Dasaratha. He is having 3 brothers, Bharata, Lakshmana and Satrughna. So this contains 2 sentences. So what you have to make is, for each question we got paragraph, sentence, words. So there will be paragraph, 2 paragraph means in each paragraph we got sentence. So when the full stop comes, there ends one sentence. So second sentence, third sentence. So this is up to seventh standard level I am talking, but in first standard level they will be given small letters. So whatever the teacher gives, they should not by heart, they should be able to analytically understand and write it and develop the knowledge. So here there are two sentences. Sentence 1 contains 5 words, sentence 2 contains 8 words, totally 13 words. So you should make the child read by sentence, fast reading, and see that whatever words in the sentence they get embedded in their mind. So when you say who is Rama, you should immediately say it contains 13 words. You are simply blind reading now. You are reading with a purpose. The two sentences. First sentence contains 5 words, second sentence contains 8 words. What the first one? Rama is son of Dasaratha. Second sentence, he is having 3 brothers, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrugna. So they can able to write perfectly the question once they read, because now each question in the margin, in the answer, in your notebook you can see left side margin. It's meant only to note down this sentence pair of words. Sentence number 1, how many words? Sentence number 2, how many words? Here I mark like this. So like that when they start reading it, so parents should make them to know this, learn this simple photographic memory technique, so that the child whatever reads it, he completely, simply in a very simple way, he can able to photograph it and keep record in subconscious mind. As and when they need a question, whenever they come, questions are given, they can immediately write perfectly 100%. This is very simple thing. Then permanent memory technique is a very simple thing. Everyday subject they should read on the same day, complete it and keep it in their mind. And weekly the parents should make them to review the lessons. Normally school they give weekly test. Some people give monthly test. So everyday subject they should parents should see before they go to bed. They complete all the lessons, study all the lessons, write all the lessons. Apart from homework, you should make them to teach to perfectly record, because everyday subject if you accumulate, read and perfectly record it, every week, Saturday, Sunday, just make a review. So every day you are reading, fast reading method, 3, 4, 5, 6 times you are reading. At weekend you are just reviewing. Monthly you are reviewing. Quarterly you are reviewing. Half yearly you are reviewing. Annually. So what happens? So many times review makes at the final annual examination, you can able to write all the lessons. Everyday lesson means small quantity. And when you recollect weekly 1 or 2 lessons will be there. Monthly 3, 4 lessons will be there. Quarterly 5, 6 lessons will be there. Half yearly 7, 8 lessons. Annually you get 10, 12 lessons. But each stage when you read and record it perfectly, and the annual examination, all the 15 lessons, each and every question by photographic memory it can perfectly recorded, and you can able to answer any question, any question asked perfectly with 100% success. And these are very simple technique. So a child of 5 to 6 to 12, it should be made to, this Atma Siddhi Yoga contains these 12 steps. These 12 steps, if they perfectly follow every day, they can able to develop imbibe in them the divine qualities of patience, perseverance, dedication, devotion, self-determination, involvement. All the divine qualities, like calmness, how to keep mind calm, how to keep the mind divine. All these things they can develop. Along with that, how to prepare themselves, the subjects to make 100%. In a very tension-free, simple way, they can able to develop and shape them into a valuable asset. So for this, the parents should take the initiative to make the child to practice these 12 steps. See, once you start in the 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, from 8th year onwards you can see the child begin to practice themselves. The simple 12 steps, if you make the child to practice, they become highly successful. Make these children to practice this Atma Siddhi Yoga, simple techniques, and see that they grow divinely and they score 100% in subjects and they shape themselves in a valuable asset. Thank you.